Hey everybody, it's Mike from Fishing the Mid-South, and as you know from these knot tutorial or these knot tests, I'm trying to find the best knot. So I'm experimenting with something, and I'm using a circle hook, which is the wrong hook to use for this, and I'm also using 30-pound solar green trilene big game to show the I guess the tutorial or the what I'm doing here. The actual test will be with 20-pound big game, but the green I'm hoping shows up better. So what we're going to do is we just double the line over like you would with a Palomar knot or something like that. You come back like so. So you've got a loop at the bottom, and you just kind of hold that loop in place. And then you take the doubled over end, and you go around the standing end and the tag line 4 times. So I think that should be 3, and that should be 4, I believe. And then you take the loop at the end, and you go through the loop at the bottom that you've created. Basically, think of it like a clinch knot where you're doing it with a doubled line the entire way. And then we moisten the line, pull tight, and then pull really tight. Now, I don't like knots like this because it leaves a loop down here at the bottom. So you essentially have 3 tag ends to cut off. The double San Diego jam knot is a good example of another knot that has that type of setup. On these, I have not trimmed off that loop. Well, okay, on this one I have. But I left the tag ends down there pretty long. Some of them I did not trim it off. Some of them I did. And again, this is going to be done with 20-pound big game mono. And the purpose behind this is so knots that have the line doubled over through the eye seem to be the best knots, or that go through the eye twice. For instance, the trilene knot is another example of one that goes through the eye twice. This just does it in a double over fashion. So we're going to run some tests, see what we have. On the left side over here, we have a 10 wrap no knot snell, because it's proven in the past to be close to full line strength. So if anything breaks over here on the left-hand knot, the test is not valid. We want to break either the line or the right side knot. So without further ado, actually with further ado, because I want to write down my results. Okay, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, test number 1. That did actually break at the snell on the left-hand side, but we've tested this line, and 28 seems to be about the maximum strength for this line anyway. So 28.3, we'll call it a wash. We'll call it a good test. Okay. Grab test number 2. And here we go. $25.3. 1 tag end, 2 tag ends, 3 tag ends, and here's where the line broke down here at the bottom. That may have been well, the tag end should have come out at the same spot. The standing line and the tag end should be coming out at the same end, like here. So I'm guessing that this broke inside the knot. So 25.3 pounds. Grab test object number 3. And that one was one that I had, again, cut off the tag ends at the swivel, or trimmed them anyway. I cut the loop off, but I left the tag ends long because I didn't want slip to be the failure point. Zero it out. Test number 3. $23.5, and there's one tag end. There's the loop tag ends. So it broke somewhere in the knot at 23.5. Now, in this next test, pay attention, special attention, whatever you want to call it, to the loop. And get this back over here and we'll discuss a little further. So I've tried to tighten these down pretty decently, but I have found that no matter what I do, every knot tightens down more as it gets pulled more. So unless you want to go to the full breaking strength and break the knot, then how will you know if it's ever fully tightened? So let's kind of keep an eye on the loop and see if it gets shorter. Now, I mean, it may rotate around as the knot rotates around a little bit, or the swivel rotates around, but we want to see if it gets any smaller. So here we go with test number 4. $20.2. So I don't think that it moved much, if any. There's a tag end. There's an end, which is kind of strange because I left the tag end longer than that. So it looks like the knot hadn't fully seated itself before it broke completely. Let's see if we can take this part at all. So yeah, there's one of the ends, but I'm not sure how that other tag end could have possibly gotten shorter. Ah, there we go. So there's one. Here's the other. So there's the 2 ends. I'm not sure really how it could have gotten deeper in there without that loop getting smaller, because it should have pulled the loop first. But anyway, there's that. Now let's look. So this knot is settled down pretty far. Where's my, there they are. So I do see right here there's still a little loop there at the top. See if I can pull that out. I'm not sure where that little loop's coming from, but I'm not pulling it out easily anyway. So here's test number 5. This is the loop I'm talking about right here. I'm going to keep an eye on that, see if it tightens up either. 22.2. Now that loop did not change, this little bitty one. That should have been the standing end, or the tag end rather. So the standing end broke somewhere inside the knot. 22.2. So this is some of the frustration of actually, skip that, of doing these knot tests, is if we'd gone off a single sample, that 28.3, that was a nice, awesome knot, because that didn't even break at the knot, it broke at the other end. And then we went 25.3, 23.5, 20.2, and then it's like, can it get worse? Now it went back up to 22.2. So we are getting full line rating at 20 pounds out of this knot, but I was much happier when I was up in the 23 or the 25 and the 28 range. So I'm not saying that this knot is useless. I'm just saying it's not as much as exciting as it looked from the first test. But that's what we're learning through all this. We're learning what works, what doesn't work, throwing some ideas against the wall and seeing what sticks. Anyway, I'm not sure what to even call this video since it, went from, on the first pull, from being titled the best knot ever to meh. But there we have it. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you on the next video. There is a playlist on how to tie knots on my channel, and also a playlist on my channel of different knot strength tests on different knots and different strength lines. And believe it or not, braid will be coming in this series later on. Thanks for watching. See you next time.